Can you hear me? You there? Oh, buddy. Ash. Can you hear me now? It's Podcast with Graham Day. Okay, I'm a little teensy bit excited because today I'm hopping on a Skype call with my good buddy Graham Cochran to record another episode of the Simply Recording podcast, which we kind of forgot about the last couple months. It's been a monthly thing for years, and we both got busy and just... So, sorry. You may think, wait, don't you already do a podcast? Yes, Ask Joe every Tuesday, every week. Simply Recording I do with Graham Cochran, and if you don't know who Graham is, you know who Graham is. So, yeah, I'm always excited to do these with him. It's just super fun, and what's fun about Graham is we both started our websites around the same time, and early on, I knew I liked him, and sorry, I'm trying to get things set up. We're doing this in like 2.5 minutes. And I remember really liking him and wanting to do a podcast with somebody to have the kind of back and forth conversation. And one thing led to another, and we started Simply Recording Podcast, which led to doing workshops here in Nashville and which are the Simply Recording Academies, and then Dueling Mixes came out of that. So anyway, I've got a special place in my heart for this podcast, and I'm excited to shoot one. So, yay. By the way, yesterday's episode got a little long, so we're going to keep this one nice and snappy.
I want something snappy.
And move it along. So, if you watch the full thing, bless your heart. Thank you. He's here. Say hi, Graham.
Hey, everybody.
That's him.
How you doing?
That's the guy. Man of the hour. So, Graham Lee, tell everybody what we're going to be talking about.
We're finally doing another podcast. We're talking about a more freeing way to release your music as an artist.
Now say boom.
Boom!
I love that guy.
I need to stop listening to voices in my head.
Yeah, and like imagine for a minute, go back to the guy you were talking about who writes a song and then releases it that night. For a lot of people listening to this, that's insane. The idea of, how much effort and money went into making records 20, 30 years ago? Unless you just had gobs of money lying around, you were not going to be able to release an album 30 years ago. It just wasn't going to happen. But now it can, and we tend to think, okay, now that I can do this in my home, then I need to do it exactly like they used to do it. What we're hoping today to do is to maybe shake that idea a little bit for you and give you permission to think about it differently, because really it's just all about releasing music. Well, that was fun, right, Nash? We talked about distribution of your music, releasing music, just releasing singles even, instead of being so tied into releasing albums and all the pressure that brings. So it's a really good episode. So when it's released, which will be really soon, go check it out, simplyrecordingpodcast.com. Fun fact, when you do a Skype podcast with somebody who lives in another part of the country, you each record, the way we do it, we each record our audio locally, and then he sends me his, and the way we sync it up is I have him clap. So in my audio, I said, "Would you clap your hands for me?"
Here it comes.
So that was picked up by my speakers, and here is his clap. So I can just line them two up, and we are now in sync, like the band. Okay, so got a big tracking day tomorrow. Gonna be fun. I am the coordinator of the session, but it's not here. It's at my friend's place. There's better better suited. Hold on. So bought a 12 couple. Oh, I opened the wrong end. Dummy. Bought a 12 pack of strings. I just like it to buy them in sets. So I just have a bunch. These are lights, not super light. That's fine. I really don't. I play with a really thick pick, so I think that kind of negates a little bit. So it tends to make brighter strings sound darker anyway, and darker strings sound really dark, so if you care. Gonna change strings. That's the thing about sessions, especially with Gibson guitars. I love you, Gibson. Your guitars don't stay in tune very well, especially when the strings are just even the slightest bit old. So in order to avoid all the embarrassment that comes from that, I'm gonna be restringing. So what we're doing is, we're not taking away from what people can do in a home studio. If anything, we're showing them what's possible when you get good musicians in their element, really doing their thing. And we're also giving them a good foundation on which they can build. And that to me is really exciting. They'll get good solid drums, bass, and some guitars and keys. And if they want that to just be it, that can just be it. But if they want to make it more and expand it and add more tracks and stuff, they can do that too. That just gets me pumped. I'm excited. It's a long day and I'll be tired and and worn out. And there will be times where I will feel like I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, you know? There'll be a song that I don't feel like I know how to play on, and then it'll just happen. It'll just come because we have to, right? We can't book another session. We don't have the budget to bring everybody back in a second day. We start to lose money if we do that. So we've got to knock it out. And being around these other musicians that will all knock it out. Tim Horsley, drummer extraordinaire, he almost always gets it in one take. The amount of time he spends playing his drums on days like this is shocking because he just knocks it out. And then he sits back while we all go in and punch in our stuff and do a couple more takes or whatever. It's entertaining to watch, so you'll see that tomorrow. But being around that is both intimidating because I'm not as good a guitar player as Tim is a drummer. But I am good, and I am able to, take the winning shot in the game, to use a really bad metaphor. But it forces me to up my game and to really hone in and focus and to really try to knock it out. And it also kind of challenges me to go for stuff musically. So if I'm over here playing chords and being really, being pretty straightforward and conservative, it makes me want to try that lick for that turnaround coming up that I thought about, but I'm a little scared to do it because I'm not sure I'm going to nail it. And you know what? I may not nail it. That's the beauty of punching in. I'll say, hey, the turnaround after verse 2, I totally botched that. Can we just punch in those 4 bars? And they'll say, yep, here we go, 1, 2, and it just come in and go. And it's just a fun process. I'm stupid excited that you're going to join me. So I hope you're excited too. Okay, I got it mostly in tune and had an idea for a song. Also, I'm not quite sure how I feel about the light strings. I may have to bail on them and go back to mediums, but we'll see. So I was just playing and came up with this cool part, and as you know, I've got to do an EP next month, doing 4 this year. So I just want to record it in the video so I don't lose the part. So it's kind of E, open, and then add like a D sharp. So kind of a major 7 feel. But it's not, welcome to the view, what you said to me, kind of sounding like. Anyway, so I think it's kind of cool, so here we go. Something like that. I kind of like it's almost like a 4-bar. It's almost got kind of like a 12-bar blues vibe to it. We'll see. I don't know. If you're wondering why 2 guitars, I did restring both. The darker Gibson one, that's my standard tuning guitar. It's the guitar I'll use the most. But if a song needs open tuning like Dadgad, then the Taylor I've got kind of preset to that. It's a lot easier than having to retune the guitar every song. That gets annoying and old. So there you go. All right, camera, before I bug out for the day, I need your feedback, so please leave a comment below. Next week, I'm gonna start working on an intro to recording course, and I'd love to hear from you. What do you think that should include? What would make it the perfect intro to recording course? That's it, simple question. Leave an answer below. I'm out.
And Nash is out too, aren't you? Yeah.